Fans, welcome to tonight's game here at Reno Field for Independence Day celebration presented by Channel 2 News. Tonight's official United Soccer League game ball is presented by Eldorado Resorts. Visit Eldorado Resort Casino, Silver Legacy Resort Casino, and Circus Hotel and Casino to start your gameplay. Tonight's referees of the match are referee Victor Rivas, assistant referees Sean Simpson and Joe Pickens, and the viewing official on the sideline, Rafael Guida. Fans, turn your attention to the big screen as we welcome tonight's following groups. Fellow, Tap Hudson family and friends, Duran and friends, you and our prospective students, and happy birthday, Queen Case.
Iron Man, 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 Captain America.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Welcome inside Greater Nevada Field, where professional soccer has its only home across the entire United States.
Here tonight we'll see LA Galaxy 2 against Reno 1868. LA Galaxy 2 brought a very youthful team here to Greater Nevada Field.
On the eve of our nation's independence, only one professional soccer match at any level will be played across the United States, and it's happening tonight in Northern Nevada. Welcome to the biggest little city inside Greater Nevada Field as the Reno 1868 Football Club welcomes Los Dos, the LA Galaxy 2, for a United Soccer League showdown. Hey everybody, alongside Colin Tabor, I'm Alex Margulies. Colin, Reno coming off of a 0-0 draw on Friday against the Phoenix Rising. They get a point out of that match, and depending on how you look at it, on one hand, you could be disappointing to not score and only come away with a draw here at home. But on the other side, playing world-class striking talent like Didier Drogba and Omar Bravo. Pretty impressive for Reno to come away with a clean sheet.
Yeah, I think both Reno 1868 and Phoenix Rising can look back and be both disappointed and happy that they walked away with a point. It was a hard-fought game, and both teams played really well.
We'll have a full preview of our action tonight as Reno takes on LA. We'll have that in a second segment. But first, let's take a look back at what happened in that Friday night action against Phoenix here at Greater Nevada Field. And what a night it was in front of 7,000 fans. This is at the very beginning of the match. Didier Drogba, a very exciting talent to see in Northern Nevada. What a treat it was for the fans to see a world-class striker like that.
Yeah, Drogba's in his day was one of the best players in the world, and he still has it. He might not have the legs he used to, but as we saw on Friday night, he's still a very good player.
Dane Kelly came into the action, the second leading scorer in the USL with 12 goals, but surprisingly held without an opportunity, or it's not, well, he did have some opportunities, held without a goal, but Reno certainly had their fair amount of chances. Really, both teams had chances to find the back of the net. They just couldn't do it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of credit can go to both keepers. Matt Bersano and Josh Cohen both had outstanding games in goal. Josh Cohen in particular made a few huge saves, as we'll see in the penalty kick coming up. But Bersano with a great save there. He made that look easy, which he did all throughout the night.
Yeah, Matt Bersano, the 24-year-old from Tempe, Arizona, his 5th clean sheet in a Reno 1868 uniform. Pretty impressive. He's made 10 starts now. He's allowed 15 goals. And there's been some competition at that goalkeeping spot, and Bersano certainly has been up to the challenge at times. Matt LaGrassa, what can we say about this guy? He just has an absolute nose for the football and showed it in that match on Friday.
Matt LaGrassa is so good at breaking up play. Anytime the opposition team feels like they can get a break, Matt LaGrassa is there to put a stop to it, and he keeps that pressure high. He wins the ball in the defense's own half, and he's able to keep Reno 1868 on the front foot.
Still moving through the first half here. Again, opportunities for Reno. There was LaGrassa with an opportunity for a header. Got a little lug from Drogba afterwards. And Dane Kelly, one of his best chances at goal there. A good deflection by Phoenix. Able to give Cohen an opportunity to take one more look there. Nice move there by Kelly, but just couldn't find the back of the net.
Yeah, and we saw him score a similar goal against Phoenix in the last run where he cut it back and then put it into the far post, but Josh Cohen did well there.
Still in the first half of action here, and this match, although 0-0, had a lot of exciting moments. There's Bersano stepping in with a punch away. I mean, it really was exciting from start to finish, as finally here's Kelly's opportunity on the penalty kick. And I know when you were talking about this after, if you're Reno, you're really going to look back at this game and remember that penalty kick and think what was.
Yeah, absolutely. We see Dane Kelly, he favors that bottom left corner, and I think goalkeepers know that by now, because out of his 6 penalties he's taken, only three have gone in. One, of course, he scored on the rebound right after, so you could technically say 4, but his last 2 have been misses, so he'll want to do better on that, but he's such a good goal scorer that it doesn't matter. He's going to get goals regardless. One
of the best chances for Reno came towards the end of the first half. Newcomer Darwin Espinal, what a strike. 2 of the right corner, but a fantastic save. Keeps it a scoreless contest. And then as we move into the second half, again, Reno still more and more chances there. Jordan Morrell and Brenton Griffiths couldn't bury some headers into the back of the net. But again, when you're playing Didier Drogba, and look at the defense Reno played on him in this match. So impressive that they were able to hold this team to a clean sheet.
Yeah, definitely. And here we see a look at the indirect free kick in the box from Josh Cohen picking up a back pass. Reno wasn't able to take advantage of, though.
About midway through the second half, we would see Phoenix add Sean Wright Phillips into the mix. This is A.J. Gray, but they get Phillips in there, another talented striker. We'll see him later in this highlight, but when you have Drogba, Bravo, and Phillips, and Reno's defense still holding strong and giving their offensive opportunities like this.
Yeah, 10 years ago, that would have been one of the best lineups in the world with those 3, but they're still very good players. They still know how to kick a soccer ball. So it was very impressive performance from that Reno defense, in particular Jimmy Ockford, Brenton Griffiths, and Matt Bersano as well.
Some more work here from Matt Bersano, ready for every challenge in that game on Friday, and Reno hoping to see a similar performance here tonight. Very, very different type of match here this evening than what they saw Friday. Such an experienced team in Phoenix. Again, Here's Wright Phillips. And this was, to me, I'm a little surprised he didn't try to bury that one there.
Yeah, I think it was a poor decision. He could have just hit that as hard as he could across the far post. And if Bersano makes a save, then, of course, they can follow through with the rebound. But instead, he tries to chip it that far post, and Jimmy Ockford reads it well.
And we mentioned before, Matt LaGrassa just has a nose for the football. He is really one of the unsung heroes of this team, a guy that just seems to find ways to get the ball and give his teams chances both on the offensive and defensive end. So Reno comes in tonight 6-4-4, 6 wins, 4 losses, 4 draws. They've got 22 points. That's 7th in the Western Conference. A win tonight would vault them into a tie for 4th place. So 3 very big points on the line here this evening against Los Angeles. We'll take a break, come back on the other side. We'll have our key players to watch as well as our starting lineups and eventually kickoff here in downtown Reno. It is the Reno 1868 Football Club and the Los Dos LA Galaxy 2 coming up next here in the United Soccer League action. All right, welcome back inside Greater Nevada Field, downtown Reno, as we get set for an exciting football match between Reno and the LA Galaxy 2. Alongside Colin Tabor, again, I'm Alex Margulies. Colin, let's take a look at our key players to watch in this one. And for Los Dos, this is a very, very young team, but they do have a guy with some experience in 22-year-old Justin Dillon, and he has been outstanding over his last 8 matches. He's been able to find the back of the net 4 times.
Yeah, and he leads the way for goal scoring for LA Galaxy 2 with 4 goals so far this season. Expect him to try and make a name for himself. Expect him to try and get some goals tonight here at Greater Nevada Field. Interesting.
Reno with several players that came out of the Cal Poly program. Dillon, also a Cal Poly alum, so that'll be an interesting match of guys like Matt LaGrassa, Mac Pridham, some alums of that Mustangs program as well. On the other side of the field, Chris Weehan, 23-year-old from Laguna Niguel, California. He has been such a fantastic presence for Reno 1868. 5th most chances created in the USL. He is tied in the league in assists. Not bad for a rookie season after coming out of New Mexico last year.
No, Chris Weehan's been so good in the way Reno play. He transitions well. He carries the ball well. He can beat players. He can find the pass. Tonight he'll be playing in the number 10 spot, which is a new spot for him with Lindo Mafeka out, but I think he's going to do outstanding here tonight.
Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. We'll begin with LA Galaxy 2 as we bring up their starting 11s here this evening. And up top, Adonis Amaya, 20-year-old striker out of Westminster, California, but really up and down this lineup, we have got some really, really young players, a couple 16-year-olds in the lineup tonight, Colin.
Yeah, Jorge Hernandez and Zico Bailey are two 16-year-olds. They might be nervous for this, but I bet they're raring for this occasion. They're excited to go.
Galaxy regarded as having one of the best academies in the country. They get them young and really move them through their system, getting them some valuable playing time here tonight. Let's take a look at Reno's starting 11, and not a lot of changes for Ian Russell's club. Again, Chris Wehan, he is moving into a center midfielder spot as opposed to being on the outside, and that is the only change. Luis Felipe Fernandez in there as well instead of Darwin Espinal. Matt Bersano back in the goal. We'll step aside for now for our national anthem. Back with more in a moment here watching United Soccer League action.
What so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red blare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Very nicely done as we
Mike Alger from
welcome
Channel
you
2.
back here on the eve of Independence Day. And what a great way to kick off the holiday with some soccer here tonight between Reno and Los Angeles. Baseball tomorrow night. The Reno Aces back in town to take on the Tacoma Rainiers, and it's going to be a lot of fun here in the next 24 hours in this building. Let's talk about the two head coaches for LA Galaxy 2 in his first season, 33-year-old Mike Munoz. He is a former midfielder for the LA Galaxy. He has spent a lot of time coaching in their academy, and most recently he was their academy director, but promoted here to being the head coach of this USL side, and certainly very familiar with his team.
Yeah, he's someone who focuses a lot on development. We see this LA Galaxy 2 team. They have a lot of young players on their team, and they're looking to bring these players in the first team. Guys like Villarreal and Bradford Jamison have already made their name for themselves in the senior team. And now these boys out here will be hoping to do the same.
On the other side of the pitch, Ian Russell, the former two-time MLS Cup champion with the San Jose Earthquakes, has done such a phenomenal job here in this exhibition season. This season did not get off to the start that this club wanted to, but Ian Russell was able to keep that ship from sinking, and now this team really positioning themselves to be a playoff club in the inaugural season.
Yeah, Ian Russell's done a fantastic job with this turnaround. He's found a starting 11 that clicks, and they've been outstanding these last 6 or 7 weeks now.
Our referees for tonight's match, Victor Rivas is our head referee. On the line to be Sean Stimpson, along with Joe Pickens, and Rafael Guetta will be our fourth official. One interesting thing to note, we'll talk some more about this as our broadcast goes along. Tonight's match has been selected for VAR, Video Assistant Referee. They've actually got an entire setup in the third base dugout of this stadium, and the officials will have an opportunity to go to this Video Assistant Referee in times where there are questions on goals, penalty kicks, red cards, or mistaken identity. It'd be very interesting to see if it ends up being used here tonight. They've been slowly rolling it into the USL as well as MLS and deciding whether this is going to be a permanent fixture in the game.
Yeah, and if you see a TV sign made by the referee, that's them saying that we are going to go check the video assistant referee. And it's had its controversies at the very beginning of Confederations Cup, which that tournament this summer used it. It didn't quite work as well. It took a little while, and it was still contentious, but I think they're starting to sort it out, and I think it's a great addition to the game.
All the fans of the Battle-Born Brigade are ready. They've got the flags in hands, scarves around their neck, and ready for this match here tonight against the LA Galaxy 2. Reno, a team that has not lost here in their home building since their very first match back at the end of March. They've had a couple draws. They had won 4 consecutive matches until the draw this past Friday, so looking to get back into the win column here tonight. Reno in the blues, and LA Galaxy, they will be in the whites. Adonis Amaya standing on top of the ball, and he will be the one to get it started for Los Dos, a team that comes in with only 3 wins on the year, only 11 points, and that puts them in 14th of the 15 teams in the Western Conference. But again, a very young, a very talented team, and you have to imagine a lot of these young 16-year-olds, this is a club that has some stuff to prove and some guys that want to make a name for themselves within their own organization.
Yeah, and they know that the senior team will play players if they're good enough, so this is their chance to show that they can play at an MLS level. And these LA Galaxy guys, they don't see age, they see talent.
Dane Kelly aggressively getting to a ball and forcing one into the corner. Nice hustle there from one of Reno's strikers.
Yeah, that was miscommunication between the LA Galaxy back four, allowed Dane Kelly to get all the way across the field uncontested, and he earns the corner kick for Chris Weehan to put in.
So Reno able to put some early pressure on the Galaxy. Chris Weehan from the right corner. Mentioned during the pregame, 32 chances created this year, tied for 5th most in the USL. Headed first by Brenton Griffiths out of the box, and Matt LaGrassa coming up to try and keep possession for Reno, but it'll go the other way as the Galaxy will drive one down towards the other corner. Matt Bersano will escort that one all the way to the back line and then pick it up with 2 hands. Talked about this before the match. Colin, in your mind, you're thinking LA Galaxy coming in here tonight, they're going to be a defensive-minded team, and they're really going to rely on a counterattack that is going to be a lot of long balls and hoping to kind of win some one-on-one chances.
Yeah, the back four and the midfield four, they're going to play in 2 low blocks. They're going to play very defensively, and when they win the ball, they're going to try to use the pace of Amaya to get past that Reno backline quickly.
Reno, on the flip side, one of the most aggressive teams in the United Soccer League. They've scored 31 goals, and that's 3rd most. To someone who's watching here tonight has never seen Reno 1868 play, how do you describe their philosophy?
They win the ball quickly and they attack quickly. That's what Reno 1868 does. It's all short passing, quick movements, 1-2s. They keep the ball on the ground the entire time as well. It really is fun to watch. The way Ian Russell's gotten these guys to play can be phenomenal at times when it all clicks.
Now we've seen this team score as many as 6 goals in one match. They beat Seattle 6-0 in a match here in May. Follow that up with a 4-goal performance against Tulsa. So this is a team that certainly knows how to score in numbers and will pressure the opposing team's defense for all 90 minutes. Eric Lopez, 18-year-old from Southern California, will kick it back to midfield.
Yeah, and that was a poor giveaway from Lopez. He just played it back into it, ready for a Reno counterattack.
Gets it up to Dane Kelly, tries to center for Opino, and it's an own goal! It was put in by the Galaxy. Kelly was trying to find Opino, and it looked like Castellanos put it into the back of the net.
Yeah, Dane Kelly gets past that LA Galaxy backline so easily from this ball from Jordan Morel to Brent Richards. Brent Richards puts it past, and Dane Kelly just lasers it into that, and Castellanos can do nothing about it except put it in the back of his own net.
Unbelievable 4th minute here tonight in downtown Reno, and the pressure from Dane Kelly. He would have had Opino behind him, but again, it was Castellanos, the 19-year-old, trying to break it up and could not misdirect it. But Great passing there from Brent Richards, and we have seen him in that spot set up a lot of goals for Reno this season. He has been superb.
Yeah, not only is Brent Richards a good defender, he has a good passing range. He has those long throws that we've seen earlier. He can really get up the field and cross the ball. He can score a couple times too. Brent Richards, not only a defensive weapon, but an offensive weapon as well.
This Reno team's so interesting because they've got two very capable strikers in Kelly and Opano. Their midfield is strong, but then they rely also very heavily on their fullbacks to get up the field and create a lot of chances as well.
Yeah, the way Reno play in the 4-4-2 diamond, they have a really condensed midfield, so the fullbacks have to provide the width. They have to get up the field to put crosses in. We'll see runs from Opano and Dan Kelly into the corner as well to also provide the width. But Reno 1868 don't really have any wingers, so the fullbacks have to act as that.
Greater Nevada Field, the official sponsor of Greater Nevada Field, and what a 24 hours it is going to be here. As soon as this match is over tonight, the grounds crew will immediately start to convert it back to a baseball facility with a 6:35 first pitch tomorrow night as the Reno Aces welcome the Tacoma Rainiers on the 4th of July. Joe Hill and his crew hope they got some sleep last week because it is going to be a long night for those guys.
Yeah, it's going to be a long week because Reno 1868, of course, play Atlas this Saturday as well, so they'll have to convert it right back when Tacoma leaves Thursday night. I don't envy them for that job.
Intercepted by Seth Kasipli trying to spring Antoine Opano. Just out of his reach to go right back to Eric Lopez, trying to tell his defense to slow down a little bit. It's a Reno team that will take advantage of a lot of mistakes in the midfield. You don't want to be careless with your passing around the four guys in the middle.
No, definitely not. Matt LaGrassa, Seth Kasipli, Luis Felipe, they're very good at breaking up play, and they're very good at initiating those counterattacks early. So if you lose the ball and your defense is not in shape, Reno will pounce on that. Not the way that Los Dos want to start, though. Going down this early with such an inexperienced team, they're going to want to make sure that heads don't drop, that they respond well to going down, especially from an own goal. It's easy to start blaming. But so far, they've responded pretty well to that, and they've started to get a little more possession.
Fans, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85. Also, don't forget the Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. And our action tonight is the Sirius XM USL Game of the Week. So a pleasure to have you listeners aboard here tonight. Brent Richards taking a shot at goal, deflected away by Tyler Turner inside the box. Reno regains possession, gives it back to Richards, who sends it to his center back, Jimmy Ockford. Chris Weehan now making a run at it. Weehan centers it for Kelly. Kelly strikes it in. Dane Kelly. 2-0 Reno, and we haven't even reached 8 minutes.
That was a great run from Chris Weehan. He just pushes it past Castellano and just squares it away for Dane Kelly, and Dane Kelly knows what to do in that position. He's going to put that away every time. Fantastic finish from the Jamaican striker.
Number 13 on the season for Dane Kelly. He is now tied for the league lead again with Romario Williams of Charleston. Number 61 in his 6-year United Soccer League career. He almost had an assist, or does he still get an assist for the own goal? Explain that to me.
Some people will count it as an assist, some people won't. It all matters which stat you're using. I know some will count penalties won, they'll count crosses for an own goal, but I don't believe Opta does, who tracks all USL stats.
So Robert Castellanos, who deflected that first goal off of Kelly, so it just goes down an O goal. There's no assist, no goal credit for anyone on Reno's side.
I don't believe so. I know that some people who keep track of stats will count that, but I don't believe Opta does.
Richards getting tied up there with Adrian Vera. We'll let Reno keep possession as Richards blasts it back towards Lopez. We were talking about this incredible Reno 1868 attack, a team that had scored as many as 6 goals in a match. They've already got 2 here in the opening minutes.
Yeah, and we see a miscommunication between Dylan and Jorge Hernandez, and they kick the ball out of bounds for Jordan Morel throw in here. What Reno 1868 have done well so far is they're swinging the ball side to side, and they're looking for those gaps between the midfield and defense for Chris Weehan to run on through.
Here trying to center it in. Ockford will send it back the other way. Here's Richards again approaching midfield. Passes left for LaGrassa. Seth Kasipley able to keep it out of harm's way, away from Jorge Hernandez. Jordan Morel comes up from his left back spot. Mentioned before, Chris Weehan getting his first start as Reno's attacking midfielder. And what a great run that was to create that goal for Dane Kelly. Mentioned earlier how good he has been at creating chances this year. That was now 33 for him. And again, for a guy in his first year of professional soccer, he has been such a pleasant surprise.
I think he has future MLS player written all over him, Chris Weehan. He can do everything so well, and he's such an intelligent player as well as being quick and a good dribbler.
Chris Weehan will take a corner. Right corner here as we approach the 11th minute. Right-footed boot headed by Ockford and off the top of the hand of Eric Lopez. He leapt up and slapped it away, but Jimmy Ockford, who's gotten 2-headed goals this year, almost had a third.
Yeah, and Jimmy Ockford's all alone. The LA Galaxy defense responds late to his run, and they start to point fingers at each other. That's not what they want to do this early in the game.
Now Seth Kasipley sets one up, and another header is in. Jordan Morel. And Reno is steamrolling Los Dos here in the first 10+ minutes.
And that was an excellent ball from Seth Kasipley. Chris Weehan finds him short, and he's able to just curl that ball onto Jordan Morel's head. And there's nothing Los Dos can do to respond to this Reno 1868 attack right now.
Unbelievable. 3 goals, and we have not even reached 12 minutes here tonight in downtown Reno.
There might be people still parking right now.
Not the right night to show up late. I can imagine the folks that showed up Friday are going, what the heck? I come here for 90 minutes. It was a great match against Phoenix, but it goes down as a 0-0 draw, and then 12 minutes in here, you've got 3 goals.
Yeah, I think on Friday night, Greater Nevada Field saw a lot of people who don't normally come because they wanted to see Drogba, they wanted to see Bravo. And those kind of fans, they want goals. And now the goals are coming.
Want to welcome our viewers now on My 21 TV. We had some technical difficulties, but glad to have our game on the air now. 3-0 lead for Reno 1868. An own goal from LA got it started off of a pass from Dane Kelly. And then Kelly, the Jamaican, the all-time leading scorer in USL history, found the back of the net himself as Luis Felipe gave a try there. And then the third goal just a moment ago, Seth Kasipley, the curling shot into the corner, and Jordan Morel with his second headed goal of the season. And Reno out to a commanding 3-0 advantage.
Yeah, for those of you just tuning in at My 21 TV, you didn't miss much.
You can go back and watch it online. Fear not. You can head to YouTube or USLsoccer.com and replay those opening minutes. I have a feeling Reno is not going to be done just yet, though. This is a team that has so many weapons and so many different guys that can find the back of the net. It could be a frustrating night for Los Dos with a very young team, a lot of players under 18 years old, and a couple even as young as 16 years old in this lineup.
Yeah, and we said the same thing when Seattle Sounders reserves came here. It's a learning experience for these kids. It's something that they can really grow from.
Well, and if you're Mike Munoz, the teachable moment is here. Okay, you're down 3-0. How do these kids respond? Do they just roll over and let Reno just steamroll them, or do they fight back? Do they find a way to get a couple goals themselves? Do they stop the bleeding on the defensive end? I feel like when you look back at this game, you're going to want to see how this team reacts after this initial couple punches to the face.
Yeah, and I think these kind of teams, these two teams, they're here for development. They're not quite focusing on winning the USL. They want to give these kids a chance to play in a professional league against adults who are professionals. This is their living, and learn from things like this. So they're going to want to play their same game, and they're going to want to try and create some chances and not worry about the scoreline so much.
Some contact there between Morel and Adonis Amaya. One of many homegrown players on this roster. Here's a look at Ian Russell commanding his team. Got to be happy with the way his club has started here tonight as they try to improve up from 7th in the Western Conference, trying to get up to 4th place if they can get 3 points here this evening. Here's a set piece chance from Amaya. Gets it into the box and almost connected by Justin Dillon. Nice attempt there, but couldn't quite find the corner. Let's take one more look.
Yeah, and that was an excellent ball in the far post from Amaya to find his forward partner, Dillon, but Dillon puts it just into the side netting. Great chance there for Los Dos.
Soccer fans, Nike, an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Also, our broadcast night brought to you by Coors Light. Whatever your mountain, climb on. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Great beer, great responsibility.
(1868) so far are doing a good job of putting pressure on Los Dos when they lose the ball, making sure they can't play those balls to Amaya through to goal. They're keeping the pressure on, and Los Dos are having to try to figure out how to play out of it.
Well, you were saying before the match, a lot of their intention in this game is to try to go over the top, try to go for some long balls to find Amaya, but Reno just not letting that happen.
No, they're making sure that those long balls can't happen because Amaya is a threat on the counterattack. He's a very quick player, and he can either go to goal himself or try to square Justin Dillon, who, of course, has 4 goals so far this season.
Tyler Turner, 21-year-old from Connecticut, sends it down there, and there it is, that long pass trying to find Amaya. They do get it to him. Brenton Griffiths there to defend him, but they're going to blow a whistle as Griffiths will shove him down to the grass.
Yeah, and Amaya does well here to hold up the ball and earn the foul. They can get numbers up there, and Amaya can put a good in-swinging ball in, just like we saw moments earlier.
That was a perfect example of what LA wants to do in this match. They got a long ball from Turner to Amaya. He holds the ball up, gets the foul, and now you bring everybody else up and trying to get an opportunity to get a goal in front of Matt Persano.
Yeah, and set pieces are anyone's game. Reno will want to make sure they minimize the amount of set pieces they allow because LA Galaxy aren't going to get a whole lot of numbers in any other circumstance.
Alejandro Covarrubias, the oldest player on this team at 25 years old. Hard to believe, but he is the elder statesman. He's standing over the ball along with Amaya. It will be Amaya to take it with his left foot. Nice driving shot there, but knocked out of trouble by Seth Kasipli.
Yeah, and Amaya looks for Justin Dillon on that far post again, but Seth Kasipli does a very good job of heading that away for a corner kick.
So it'll go down into the far left corner now as Adrian Vera will get a crack at it. Vera sends it short. A little confusion over where the ball was. Then Morel will clear it well past midfield. It'll be tracked down by Jonathan Hernandez, who will send it back to the goalkeeper, Eric Lopez. Chris Wehan putting some pressure on Lopez there. And Reno, despite this 3-0 lead, still trying to make things as uncomfortable as possible for this Galaxy defense.
Yeah, look at that from Chris Wehan. He runs all the way from his box to LA Galaxy's box. Eric Lopez has a lot of time, but he dwells on it, and Weehan puts the pressure on him, and Lopez has to knock it out for a throw-in.
I have to imagine in this kind of formation, at that position Weehan is playing, if you're Ian Russell, you have to love him coming up and putting that kind of pressure on the goalkeeper.
Yeah, and I think that's why Ian Russell put him as that attacking mid, is because he is such a dynamic player. He runs well with or without the ball, and he can make those runs that someone like Seth Kasipli, as good as he is on the ball, I think Seth Kasipli is the best passer on this Reno 1868 team. But he's just not quite as dynamic as Weehan. I think changing those two up, it was a very good decision from Ian Russell.
Game tonight brought to you by Coors Light. The bigger the mountain, the better the reward. Whatever your mountain, climb on. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Great beer, great responsibility. Matt Bersano in goal, the 24-year-old from Tempe, Arizona. Good blast there, headed high up in the air. Kelly trying to box out for it. Rehan will come up with it. Send it over to Morel.
And LA Galaxy the last few minutes have done a pretty good job of gaining more control of the ball. They've been able to get a couple times Amaya through where he's earned those fouls, and that's what they're going to want to keep doing. They're going to want to try to get Amaya through on goal or get set pieces where they can get guys like Castellanos up there for a header.
Kasipli with an interception. Gets it to LaGrassa. Touch pass from Opano, trying to find Weehan, but he was going the other way, and back to the keeper, Lopez. Jimmy Ockford coming up and steals it away.
Well done from Jimmy Ockford, defending on the front foot. That's what he likes to do. He doesn't retreat and try to make a block when he's in his own box. He tries to win that ball all the way up at the half line or even further sometimes, so they can keep the ball in LA Galaxy's half.
Brenton Griffiths with a strong right foot going for the right corner. Too strong, though, as it goes over the head of Luis Felipe. And a throw-in coming from Jonathan Hernandez. United Soccer League is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. You can stay up to date on the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com. You can also follow them on USL. Chance there for LA Galaxy. Brenton Griffiths getting in the way of the ball, and he is going to be cited for a yellow.
Yeah, and that's just poor miscommunication there between the three of Jimmy Ockford, Brenton Griffiths, and Jordan Morel. And it's a poor giveaway, and Jorge Hernandez does very well to earn that. Hits it against Brenton Griffiths' hand, and now they have another set piece.
Jorge Hernandez, one of the two 16-year-olds on the club. Already his 8th appearance this season in the USL at 16 years old. Have to imagine there's a bright future from that youngster from Riverside, California.
Listen, Mike Munoz, he definitely believes in playing youth. He definitely believes in giving them a chance at this level.
Well, it certainly is going to help them advance their career faster, I think, when you're playing at 16 years old. When you're playing at 15, then when you're 18, 19, 20, you're ready for the MLS game.
Yeah, and some of their friends, they're still playing locally as U16 players, and they're not getting nearly the same development that these kids are getting. Being able to play against full-grown professionals, it's so important for growing as a player. And we'll see that system in Europe where 16-year-olds are thrust into the first team rather than going to college and not making their professional debuts until they're 22, 23 years old.
Galaxy give it a crack from outside the box. Can't get it to go. Bersano, who's got 5 clean sheets to his name, trying to go for number 6 here tonight. He's tied for 4th most in the USL this season with those clean sheets. Signed by the Earthquakes in March of this year, and he has been a very strong performer here in the USL. Coming over from the Seattle Sounders, too, where he made a couple appearances last year following some time in college at Oregon State. Pass mishandled by Seth Sipley. Here comes the Galaxy with a couple bodies, but taken back away by Jordan Morrell, and here comes Reno 1868 back on the offensive end. Luis Felipe gets it over to Antoine Openo, doing what he does best, gets inside of the box, tries to center it, goes off a hand, and there is the whistle. Went off the hand of Robert Castellanos, and Castellanos has got to just be sick the way this first half has played out. First, the own goal, and now his hand gets in the way of a cross from Antoine Openo.
Yeah, and Openo does such a good job of overpowering John Hernandez. He gets the cross in, and Castellanos is unlucky that it hits off of his arm, but it's in an unnatural position. The referee deemed that it's too far away from his body, and they'll give the penalty to Reno 1868. But like you said, these first 25 minutes have not gone Castellanos' way.
Antoine Openo, so disruptive. We ran a story on him earlier this week on News 4. He is just so hard to stop. Does not give up.
I think that's his 6th penalty he's earned this season, so he might as well be the one taking them.
Here we come. Antoine Openo buries it. 4-0 Reno.
And it's the nice, cool penalty from Antoine Openo. He puts it just out of Eric Lopez's reach, high into that upper left corner. And Reno are running away with this. 4-0 in the 26th minute. Unbelievable.
If you're the LA Galaxy right now, your head absolutely has to be spinning. I mean, you come in here, and this is a team that really, despite their record, has not been playing terribly. I mean, they came off a 1-0 loss at Swope Park. They only lost 3-2 to Sacramento. In fact, all of their last 5 matches have been 1-goal differentials, but it has just been a downpour here tonight in Reno.
I think it's how Reno play. We saw the same thing against Seattle Sounders. These inexperienced teams, they can't handle guys like Antoine Openo, guys like Dane Kelly. They don't know what to do when there's just a barrage of players running after them again and again.
Openo again got himself open in front of the net, but a right-footed strike curls too far. Couldn't control it as LA dodges a bullet. You know, the offense lends itself to the defense making mistakes, and when you play a young team, mistakes are going to happen, and they are really magnified when you play this Reno team.
Yeah, this Reno team thrives on mistakes. They force mistakes, and then they exploit them. It's what they're so good at doing. So we've seen teams come in, try to minimize mistakes. That's their goal against this Reno team, and LA Galaxy have not been able to do that.
Luis Felipe grabbing possession for 1868, sends it backwards for Richards. Stolen away temporarily by Amaya. Nowhere to go with it, though, and Reno again putting pressure on the offensive end. Pass too far for Chris Weehan, and a goal kick coming up for Eric Lopez.
I think this shows just how hungry for goals this Reno team is. Instead of pulling off the gas a little bit, they're going for more. They want to score goals. They want to show teams that they need to be feared. And here we are, 4-0 in the 27th minute, and they're still pressuring guys. They're still trying to get behind and score.
Our match tonight brought to you by Coors Light. What will we be without our mountains? Without the things that push us further and call us higher. Whatever your mountain, climb on. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Greater beer, great responsibility. Adonis Amaya trying to center it too far, though. Brent Richards with the clearance. Dane Kelly comes up and gets it away. Finds Antoine Openo, and Openo is whistled just offsides. Otherwise, that could have been goal number 5.
Yeah, I think Openo just makes his run a little too early. He's off just by the tip of his nose, but I think it's a good call from the referee there.
Trying to get it down to Justin Dillon quickly on a counterattack, but that plan will not work out as Bersano gets to it. He'll send it left off the head of Jordan Morrell, and corralled on the defensive end by Tyler Turner of Los Dos. Covarrubias. Send it wide for Jonathan Hernandez. Times it up, gets it to Nemaya, makes it inside the box, being guarded by Kisipli, and Kisipli will get rid of it up to Wehan. And plenty of numbers for Reno just to touch it around and play keep away.
That's a good run from Amaya, but he slips on that infield, and Reno's able to get it out of there.
Chris Wehan trying to dart with the ball on a run, but Antoine Opano is taken down with a whistle blown. And so Reno will slow the play down a little bit, send Matt LaGrasse to the ball. Puts it back in play for Brent Richards. Gets it forward for Dane Kelly. Kelly with a nice move. Gets it inside the box. Kelly with a right-footed tap in front of Lopez, who cleanly picks it up.
All Dane Kelly and Antoine Opano really have to do is just hit it in front of them and run, and they're going to overpower these young LA Galaxy defenders. They've been able to do that a few times now.
Oh, and Reno's doing it in different ways. They're going up top. They're finding passing lanes. They're out sprinting the defenders to balls. Reno's certainly overmatching this young Los Dos team here in the first 31 minutes of play. Galaxy doing a good job possessing it here. Not for long, though, as LaGrasse gets to it, trying to find Kelly. Back to Wehan. Wehan finds up to Kelly. Kelly gets it inside the box, goes with his left foot, and couldn't get enough turn on it. It was too straight as it went past the right post.
Yeah, Wehan does a very good job of jumping on this loose ball and playing Dane Kelly through, and Dane Kelly wants another goal, but he just can't get enough curve on it to put it into that left far post.
Kelly's such an impressive season here in Reno. He was the first player signed by this exhibition club, and he is not disappointed one bit. Kelly now with 13 goals, and at one point in this year, he was unstoppable. A 5-game goal streak which took place between May the 6th until June the 19th, and included in that 5-goal streak back-to-back hat tricks.
Yeah, he jumped up the goal scoring stats after those 5 games, and he still looked dangerous every time he's playing. Of course, he has a goal so far today, and I'm willing to put money that he'll get another goal by the end of this 90 minutes.
Well, he's just getting so many chances.
Oh, definitely. He's someone who wants to get his goal scoring stats up. He wants to end the season as the top scorer, and he sees this as an opportunity to get a couple more.
Well, it's interesting because he's the all-time leading scorer in league history, but he's never won a Golden Boot, and I imagine that would mean a lot to him.
It would mean a lot to him, and I know that Williams on Charleston Battery has recently passed him up, but this will be Kelly's time to at least tie him. I know Williams is on 14 goals, and Dane Kelly now on 13.
Yeah, I'd said before they were tied, I apologize. Williams actually did tally one in his last match, so he's at 14 to Kelly's 12, and then behind him, 9, the next closest behind Dane. So Williams and Kelly, interestingly enough, both from Jamaica at the top of this USL goal-scoring list.
Yeah, and both trying to get into that Gold Cup squad this summer, which could affect their goal-scoring stats if one gets called up and the other stays here in USL.
Well, and Dane Kelly has been asked about that, and he said it would be an incredible honor to get a chance to represent his country, and something he is certainly hoping for.
Yeah, and it's surprising that he never has had his chance, and I think this could be his summer to represent Jamaica in the Gold Cup with the way he's been playing lately. Not just scoring either. His all-around play has been fantastic the last 6 or 7 weeks.
Well, we've seen the hustle. I mean, you saw in the opening minutes of this match where Dane Kelly sprinted to a corner on a ball that he really didn't even need to go for. But he took the initiative to give it everything to go get that ball, and he forced an early corner kick in the first minute.
Oh, definitely. It's something he does. He harasses defenders. He defends corner kicks. He does it all. He's passing. He's crossing the ball. He's not just looking for goals. Dane Kelly has become an all-around great soccer player at the same time as being a great goal scorer.
Chris Weehan back on the ball, down to Seth Kasipley. Back to Jimmy Ockford. You'd mentioned this earlier, Colin, but this upcoming Saturday, Atlas from Mexico, professional team from Mexico, coming to Greater Nevada Fields. Pretty neat, in partnership with Pazzo Sports, able to get this done. We're going to play that match at 7:30 on Saturday. You can still get your tickets at Reno1868fc.com, but what a treat to have that kind of quality competition come play here in an exhibition. That's going to be a real fun environment.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to that game since it was announced. It's amazing that a team like Atlas is going to be here at Greater Nevada Field playing against Reno 1868. I know that 2 games back-to-back, they're going to need a little bit of rest before that game because it is tough to focus on a friendly when you have your regular USL season at the same time.
Brent Richards unable to control himself as Reno is pushing for another chance there. It'll stay at 4-0 here as we approach minute 36. Greater Nevada Credit Union, the official sponsor of Greater Nevada Fields. And what a beautiful night it is here. Jordan Morel. Touch pass from Felipe to Weehan.
Oh, that was wonderful passing between Morel, Felipe, and Weehan there.
Down to Richards, gets it back to Felipe. Gets it over to Kelly. A lot of numbers right now for Reno. Kelly trying to find a touch for Felipe. Now stolen back by Brent Richards. Richards gets it into the box. He's been tripped up. And not going to give him a penalty kick, but pretty close.
Yeah, and I think that's the right call there. I think that ball is just out of Brent Richards' reach. And it's tough to give a penalty in a play that I don't think he's going to get to. So I think the ref made a good call giving the corner kick there.
It's almost kind of hard. I know the rules are the rules, but when a team's up 4-0, you almost kind of want to err on making sure that it absolutely has to be a penalty kick at that point, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it really needs to be clear as day a penalty for them to give it. I mean, it's 4-0. It wasn't quite that much contact. I mean, they got the ball first. So I think it's tough to give a penalty in that situation.
Well, and it's worth mentioning, the VAR is here tonight. Again, the video assistant referee, and if it was deemed close enough, they would have taken a look at it.
Yeah, we would have seen the referee make that rectangle, and we would have gone into the booth to see if there was something in it, but they've made the decision that nothing in it at all. And it's good to see VAR. It's good to see a second opinion because it's so hard for the referee in the spur of the moment to make a call like that sometimes.
Well, I think it'll be especially great for penalty kicks. I also think in terms of where balls are placed for penalty kicks, because a lot of times there's that fine line whether it's just outside the line or in, and that can make the difference between a game or not.
Oh, it definitely could. There's a lot of contentious decisions that VAR could be putting a stop to. There's goals that weren't quite goals because they were on the line, or the opposite where it was across the line, and VAR will do a good job of that.
Dane Kelly sprung again. Kelly trying to make a move and can't quite get there. This time Castellanos up to the challenge of defending him. And a nice job there as a couple other bodies corralled around Kelly and prevented him from getting a clean shot off.
I think LA Galaxy have found their tempo a little bit. They're able to move the ball a little bit better. They're able to get the ball away from that Reno 1868 pressure and find guys into space.
Had some continuity going there, but Luis Felipe will clear it out, get it to Kelly. Chance for a one-on-one there with Castellanos, but can't get quite to it fast enough. And sent forward by John Hernandez.
That's a great passing sequence to find Justin Dillon.
Dillon with a right-footed attempt, too high over the crossbar.
Looks like it took a deflection, and we'll see a corner kick for Los Dos here.
We'll take that corner from the far left. It'll be Adonis Amaya with the opportunity. Puts his left foot into it. Cleared away by Reno 1868. Back into the box. Griffiths sends it back towards midfield. Picked up by Covarrubias. Whistle blown as Luis Felipe taken down at the top of the field.
I think that's a poor call from the referee there. I didn't see much from Covarrubias. Just played the ball to Jorge Hernandez, and the ref somehow gives a foul to Reno. Questionable for me.
Fans, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC. That's channel 85. Also, don't forget the Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times. Want to welcome aboard all of our audiences here tonight. Sirius XM is one of them. Also My21 TV, and those of you watching on YouTube or uslsoccer.com. Hope everyone's getting a good start to the 4th of July festivities. Reno trying to create an opportunity for Luis Felipe in the box, but Galaxy able to get it out of trouble. Back the other way goes Amaya.
Oh, and that's an excellent ball from Amaya to find Bailey over on the right-hand side.
Bailey, a Nevada native from Henderson, which is just outside of Las Vegas. See him there with the hair sticking up and the yellow cleats.
His brother Kanoya Bailey was also part of Los Dos just last year. So it seems to run in the family.
Here comes Weehan and Opino. Chris Weehan sends it over to Dane Kelly. Kelly, right foot, and just wide as Lopez dove to the right corner of the net.
And we see how dynamic Chris Weehan is running at defenders. He makes them commit to him, and then he's able to lay off the ball for someone like Dane Kelly to have space to shoot.
Just pulled it a little bit too much. But already 4 goals here in the first half by Reno 1868. Soccer fans, Nike, an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit nikesoccer.com. Another nice crowd here this evening at Greater Nevada Field. A lot of folks choosing the grassy knoll behind what is currently the Galaxy's visiting goal. A lot of blankets and beach chairs. It was a warm afternoon, but as has been here lately, the nights have just been superb. Last night, nice and cool and breezy, and getting the same exact conditions here tonight. It has been a perfect setting for some soccer.
Yeah, and that might be the best place in the house to see some fireworks here after the game.
Fireworks tonight, fireworks tomorrow when the Reno Aces get back to town, as it looks like the Galaxy will make a couple of substitutions. Ethan Zubak, 18-year-old from Corona, California. He'll come in for Justin Dillon. Castellanos will be replaced by Gene Angola. Zubak back after a 3-game suspension. And Angola, 19 years old from Cameroon, one of the few international players on this Galaxy roster. Castellanos, I'm sure, will go home and want to forget about his first half performance here tonight.
Yeah, and taking him out before halftime with a double substitution just really adds insult to injury there. Doesn't even get a chance to redeem himself. So it's gonna be a tough night for him.
Seth Kasipley finds Matt LaGrassa. Here's Antoine Openo. Openo into the box, trying to time it up with Kelly, and can't quite get it there. They'll get it out of harm's way. Here comes Bailey the other way.
That was such a good ball from Openo to find that diagonal run from Kelly, but Kelly just can't get solid contact on it.
Kelly coming in and trying to steal it back from Bailey. Not a bad attempt there, but caught too much of him.
Yeah, I think he got ball there. Another little bit of a questionable call, but LA Galaxy will put this down and clear their lines a little bit.
Again, I don't know the mindset of the referees, but in a 4-0 contest, I have a feeling Reno's not going to get a whole lot of calls that are maybe in that 50-50 range where it could go either way. You'd think that the Galaxy might get a little bit more, as Reno will make a substitution as well, and it's Nick Von Niederhauser coming in, and good to see him back out of the pitch. He had been on the shelf for the last couple of months.
Yeah, and I think Ian Russell wants to give him a little bit of a run out, a way to get some fitness and a little bit more game experience. He's been out for a good 2.5 months now, but wow, 3 subs before halftime. You don't see that very often.
You also don't see a 4-0 score going into halftime very often either.
No, but it looks like Jordan Morel will slide back into center back, where he probably does feel more comfortable. Nick von Niederhausen will play as the left back here. The 27-year-old from Switzerland who has Europa League experience with FC Vaduz. He'll be looking forward to getting a little bit more time under his belt after this long time out with a hamstring injury.
And certainly a very capable player. He was a guy that was a starter on this team at the beginning of the season, had earned that coming out of the team's initial camp.
Actually wore the captain's armband as well. But since his injury, Jimmy Ockford has taken it over and has done an incredible job as the leader of this 1868 team.
Taken away in the midfield by Reno. Openo taking a stab at it. And Tupar to the right corner past Lopez. There's the whistle for the end of the first half. And what a first half it was for Reno 1868. 4-0. They lead Los Dos. It all started with an own goal off of center back Robert Castellanos. And the route was on from there as Reno will take a commanding lead into the second 45. So we'll take a break, come back on the other side with some highlights. Coming up next, we'll also have a feature courtesy of Julian Delgadio from News 4 as he profiles the supporters section, the Battle Born Brigade. You won't want to miss that. That more coming up soon here as you're watching United Soccer League action between Reno and LA Galaxy.
1868 fans. I'm Julian Delgadio, and I want to talk to you guys about a group of people very special to this football club, the Battleborn Brigade. Now, they've been there since the very beginning. Before this club even had players, colors, even a crest. And now they are the most loudest and loyal fans inside of Greater Nevada Field. Check out their origin story. And they are here. Attend any Reno 1868 game, and you'll definitely hear the Battleborn Brigade.
Basically, it's just one big party, and anybody's allowed to just come and hang out with us.
What started as a small group of soccer fans on Facebook is now the loudest section at Greater Nevada Field.
We had no idea that would get to the point it is now. I mean, now we're just about full in our section. The stadium attendance is amazing.
Actually, even every half of each game, it's gotten better and people have gotten louder and more in sync. And watching that happen has been really special.
The Battleborn Brigade is already making their mark on Reno.
I mean, I think Battleborn Brigade is the heartbeat of the club. When you come out to a game, that section standing and cheering, that's what really gets the players going.
From their weekly march into the stadium,
and we are here! Well, it gets people pumped.
To the handmade flags they wave at every game. But the brigade is best known for their constant chanting throughout the match.
When you're bored or if you're doing monotonous stuff at work, you just go through your head thinking about tunes, thinking about how you can fit in, chants in there, figuring out rhymes.
And then a lot of others we just kind of let come naturally. Whatever people are thinking during the game, we start chanting it and work it from there, and it just kind of grows from that.
And while the 1868 soccer players are giving their all for their city, the Battleborn Brigade is holding up their end of the bargain as well.
They're putting in 90 minutes on the field, working as hard as they can. So if we're going to be proper supporters, we got to be in the stand working as hard as they are.
Now, if you're new to this football club or new to soccer in general, I would highly recommend checking out the Battleborn Brigade. They're stationed on that west goal down where third base line normally would be, and they're always open for new fans. Just one little pro tip, though, if you're heading over there, prepare to be loud. These guys are cheering the entire 90 minutes, and they're really the heartbeat of the club. Reporting with the 1868, I'm Julian Delgadio.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat.
Ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, you're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Oh, hey, she's cute. Nice going, man. Things are going great for you. You've earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Not smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch, that'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
raise the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
All good things must come to an end. The two top Western Conference teams experienced just that in Week 14 of the USL season. Real Monarchs made their mark in USL history with their 9th consecutive win on Monday night to start off the week where they would play 2 league games. Sebastian Velasquez played a key role in the win over Reno 1868, tallying the assist on both Monarchs' goals. But the streak would end Saturday night in Phoenix. After conceding early, Omar Bravo notched his first USL goal, finishing from inside the box after crisp passing from Matt Watson and Didier Drogba. The Real Monarchs remain unbeaten, though. In the last 10 games, they have a record of 12-1-1. Undefeated San Antonio also saw their run come to an end in front of a record crowd in Colorado Springs. 4,229 fans saw Sean McFarland get on the end of a Master Cashier free kick right before half. That would prove to be the game winner. San Antonio now moves to 10-1-4 as both teams continue to sit atop the West. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
All right, welcome back inside Greater Nevada Field alongside my broadcast partner, Colin Tabor. I'm Alex Margulies, and Colin, what a first half for Reno. Again, Friday night, 0-0 against Phoenix, 7,000 plus, walked away. I think maybe a little frustrated without seeing a goal. I think there's always that kind of pent-up frustration as a fan. Even though it was a quality game, I think a lot of people had a great time on Friday night. You want to see goals. If you came in the first 10 minutes of this match tonight, I think you would have your fill of goals for a while because Reno absolutely teed off on the Galaxy.
Yeah, people here tonight are getting their money's worth. 3 goals in the first 10 minutes and then the 4th and the 25th. Reno have been on fire against this LA Galaxy 2 team.
All right, let's roll the highlights from the first half. It all started in the opening minutes of play, and it would be an own goal that would severely cost the Galaxy. Great ball from Brent Richards. Gets it up to Dane Kelly. He was just trying to cross it for Antoine Openo, but check it out. Robert Castellanos gets in the way. And then it was Kelly saying, you know what? Didn't get a goal or an assist before. Took matters into his own hands to get his 13th of the season. What a great play there as well by Chris Wehan.
Yeah, that's what Chris Wehan can do from that attacking midfield role. And then here we see Seth Kasipley with the great ball in for Jordan Morel.
Kasipley, fantastic curling shot after Wehan put it in for the corner. That was the second goal this year for Jordan Morel. Take another look there, just perfectly executed. And then finally, Antoine Openo, who has earned so many penalty kicks for other guys, namely Dane Kelly. This time, after a ball was batted down in the box on a handball, it was Openo who was able to take the penalty himself, and he did not disappoint as he picked up goal number 6 of the season.
Yeah, Castellanos, he got an own goal, and then he got the penalty for the handball, and Mike Munoz decided to sub him out in the 43rd minute. Tough night for him, but a great night here for Reno 1868.
I imagine we'll see a lot of substitutions in the second half. Chance to rest some legs. Maybe see that guy right there, Brian Brown for Reno. Nick Von Niederhauser, saw a quick shot of him there a second ago. He was able to substitute in the closing minutes of the first half for Brenton Griffiths. Good to see Nick back in uniform. It has been a while.
Yeah, 2.5 months with his hamstring problems. He must be really excited to be back out here on the pitch and try to get himself back into that starting 11 where he was in the beginning of the season.
All right, let's talk about the second half now. And for Reno, they've been here before where they've been up big like this. They did that against the Seattle Sounders too. Eventually won 6-0. What do you do here in the second half to make sure that you're not taking some plays off and not taking minutes off and allow the LA Galaxy to get any kind of momentum here in the second half? What's the mindset have to be in this spot?
I think more of the same. I think they come out pressing this LA Galaxy back line, forcing mistakes, and trying to get in behind quickly. I think we're going to see a couple subs. I think guys like possibly Brian Brown or Mac Pridham are going to be coming in the second half. Maybe they'll be looking to get a goal themselves. But yeah, I think it's more of the same from Reno here tonight.
LA Galaxy, when you look at this young team, Mike Munoz obviously knows this club. A lot of guys have been under him for years. There are some players that are as young as 16 on this team. How do you make this a teachable moment here and make this next 45 minutes and try and make the best of this next 45 minutes?
Yeah, I think they have to play their game. They try to minimize mistakes and maybe grab a goal. These kids, they had a rough start, but I think they responded pretty well to it. They started getting a few chances. Amaya in particular has had a great couple balls into Justin Dillon, and they just try to find Amaya through, try to find some of these other guys through and maybe get a goal.
Here comes Reno 1868 back onto the pitch, coming out from the left field side of the stadium. Again, this is a two-sport facility. For those of you watching Reno 1868 soccer for the very first time, this is also home of the Reno Aces, the AAA affiliate of the Arizona Diamondbacks, and it will be the Aces playing in this facility in less than 24 hours. It is going to be an interesting night for the grounds crew led by Joe Hill, as immediately following the end of this match, they're going to rip up the grass that covers about 3/4 of the infield dirt. They'll have to go back and re-edge. They'll have to wash off the paint that is in the outfield and get this ready to be a baseball stadium. Again, you can see the disparity, the difference by that grass that covers the infield dirt. But I tell you what, I think it's an amazing concept to be able to play soccer in a baseball stadium, and I know that this is a formula that's going to be used more and more across the country as the USL continues to expand, and then even beneath that as the USL 3 launches and gets teams involved in many markets across the country. I think you're going to see a lot of this two-sport facility formula be implemented.
Yeah, and you can't beat a location like this. These downtown stadiums that already exist, you might as well use them instead of having a pop-out stadium somewhere in the outskirts of town. That way these fans can do these march from the bars. People have easy access to get to the field, and I think it makes a big difference for getting numbers out here.
Yeah, right now it's working in Reno. It's also doing really well in Tulsa. They've got a beautiful AA ballpark in downtown Tulsa, also used for the Roughnecks, and certainly in Reno, it's doing very well. 7,000 plus here last night. Another great crowd here for this action tonight, and will eventually get treated to some post-game fireworks. Will we see more fireworks on the pitch, though? Already 4-0 Reno leads as we get underway here in the second 45. Galaxy getting it down into the corner. Jimmy Ockford meeting on defense, and Matt Bersano diving for an early save here in the second half.
And that's a good run from Zubak. We saw him get subbed in the end of the first half, but he just can't get that ball away from Bersano enough to find Amaya.
No substitutions out of the gates here in the second half for Reno, as an offsides flag is thrown up. We did see that substitution of Von Niederhauser before the end of the first half, as well as Gene Angola, a center back from Cameroon, coming in for Robert Castellanos, and then Ethan Zubak coming in for Justin Dillon at the top of the LA Galaxy order. Want to remind you, folks, Greater Nevada Credit Union, the official sponsor of Greater Nevada Fields. And what a perfect July night it is here in Northern Nevada. Going to be a great week. Not only the match this evening, the 3 games between the Aces and Tacoma, and then eventually that exhibition match, which I know a lot of people are excited about this coming Saturday between Reno and Atlas from Liga MX in Mexico.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a week for Greater Nevada Field here. A lot of work for Joe Hill and the grounds crew, like you said.
Adonis Amaya off a set piece, drives it with his left foot, clear down to the box by Kisipli. Dane Kelly will put some pressure, and they'll send it backwards towards the keeper, Eric Lopez. When I talked to Joe Hill about this, I think he relishes this challenge. This is why he wanted to be the director of field operations in this stadium, was for challenges like that. As a whistle's blown, Chris Wehan taken down outside of the box by Gene Angola.
And when I say Chris Wehan is so good in transition, this is a perfect example. He puts that pressure on Angola, wins the ball back, and is immediately going towards goal and forces the foul. And he'll be looking to put this on somebody's head for another goal.
Wehan. Waiting for the signal here. Here it comes. Good strike, cleared away. Looked like that was Hernandez who was able to deflect it. Reno still a chance here. They'll get it inside for Morel. Jordan Morel, left foot. Jordan Morel, his second goal tonight. 5-0 Reno.
And a nice, cool finish from Jordan Morel. He positions himself between the two defenders and just runs through and calmly puts it past Eric Lopez for his second goal of the night. Amazing from the defender.
Perfectly timed ball there by Reno. Morel played it perfectly to not go off sides and then drives it into the back of the net with his left foot.
And the perfectly weighted ball from Seth Kisipli as well. He puts it just hard enough to get past those Galaxy defenders, but still out of the path of Eric Lopez. An easy run up for Jordan Morel. It doesn't get too far past him. It doesn't get stuck behind him. Excellent weight of the pass from Seth Kisipli there.
Our goal is presented by Audi Reno Tahoe. 5-0 here tonight at Greater Nevada Field, and I don't think this team is done just yet. Looks like another opportunity brewing. Kelly trying to get it in for Opado, too far. Bailey will come up and blast it up to midfield and out of play.
Maybe Ian Russell will consider throwing Morello up top so he can get that hat trick. Sure, he would love that opportunity.
Got to feel good to get 2 goals here tonight as Chris Wehan with an errant pass. Galaxy able to clear. I can't remember which match it was as the Galaxy trying to make a run up here. LaGrassa, great slide in. Looked like he won that one there. That was just a classic tackle from Matt LaGrassa. That is just textbook Matt LaGrassa, but a whistle blown nonetheless. Looked pretty clean.
It looked clean, but I think he showed studs, which the ref did not like. So when you come in studs up like that, everyone's a little bit nervous about, because that could potentially be a leg breaker, but I think that's a clean tackle.
Maybe it's a little bit too aggressive, just a little bit too much there from LaGrassa. What I was going to say, though, about Morel, I can't remember which game it was, but there was a game where he had 2 chances right in front of the net, and he missed both. And I imagine he lost a little sleep over those. Tonight, I think he's going to sleep much better.
Oh, definitely. I think it was the Rio Grande Valley game that had happened. But, yeah, he was beating himself a little bit up at post-game, I remember. But now he's now the top-scoring defender for Reno 1868. We talk about how dangerous Brenton Griffiths and Jimmy Ockford are for corner kicks, but now Jordan Morel with 3 goals this season.
Yeah, Morel's got 3. Griffiths has 1 goal. He has the first ever in this franchise's existence. Jimmy Ockford's got 2, both off headers, and Brent Richards has 1 goal as well. Galaxy trying to make a run here with Jorge Hernandez. Von Niederhausen coming up and will force it out of play as Bailey comes up for some help for Los Dos. Trying to get it in there for Amaya, broken up by Kasipli. Here comes Reno quickly the other way. Luis Felipe getting tangled up. Galaxy with the interception. Kovarabias. Up to Amaya, sends it right back to him.
Oh, and that's good play from Kovarabias there to find that split between the two Reno defenders and give the ball to Amaya there. LA Galaxy are starting to hold on to the ball a little more. They're starting to play the ball quicker.
Cross there, goes the opposite side. Hernandez gets broken up by Von Niederhauser. Jordan Morel with his left foot will blast it back towards midfield. Headed away. A challenge from Kelly. Can't get to it quite fast enough as the Galaxy will keep the possession going. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts. That's Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85. Also, don't forget Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Trying to go over the top that time. Morel will punch it out of bounds. Quick throw in will go for Zubek, and he can't control it. It'll go out of play. And a goal kick now coming for Matt Bersano.
I think 16-year-old Zico Bailey has showed some pretty good decision-making out there. He hasn't looked out of place at all. He's made some good passes. He's looked comfortable in possession, and he's fought hard.
Interestingly enough, in this match, LA has actually controlled the possession 54.2% of the time. But the quality of their possession certainly have not been nearly what Reno's has, and that is pretty obvious based on the scoreboard.
I wonder where most of that possession was, because I imagine a majority of it is in LA Galaxy's half. I haven't seen them get up the field a whole lot except for set pieces.
Pretty amazing. Reno 10 shots on goal, and they've converted half of those. Of course, one of them with the help of Castellanos on the own goal, which came in the 3rd minute. Nice job there by Bersano, racing up to keep Ethan Zubak at bay. The own goal came in the 3rd minute. Then Kelly buried one in the 8th minute, followed by Jordan Morel in the 11th. And then before the end of the half, a goal added by Antoine Opano at minute 25. And then goal number 5 coming off the foot of Morel in minute 49. Here's Luis Felipe, left foot, and it looked like Kelly got in the way. He might have had a chance at goal there, and Kelly was caught in a bad spot. He actually tried to jump out of the way and just couldn't do it.
Yeah, and Dane Kelly, not only does he block the shot, but he's offside as well, and that's unfortunate for him because Luis Felipe had a good shot there.
He's been good from that spot this season. 2 goals in his first 8 games since being signed by the team at midseason.
Yeah, and someone who I don't think scored at all for Fort Lauderdale Strikers. So he's been able to be a goal threat as well as being a ball-winning midfielder who retains possession well, which is what they brought him in for, really.
Vans Coors Light reminds you that every climb deserves a refreshing finish, and every night deserves a safe ending. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Greater beer, great responsibility.
And looks like one of these LA Galaxy players has a slight problem. Looks like Arteaga is feeling his calf a little bit, but he'll play on.
Eric Lopez trying to slow down the game a little bit. Give him a chance to shake that off. You can see the Battleborn Brigade flying their flags proudly right behind that goal. I know 5 goals are great, but I know the appetite of the Battle-Born Brigade has not been satiated just yet.
No, and no matter what the score is, they're loud the entire time. We saw on Friday night against Phoenix, no goals, and they were still singing their hearts out until the very end.
Kelly tripped up with a chance there to make a run at it. Haven't seen a card come out yet, as the trip came from Jean Angola, the 19-year-old from Cameroon. Both him and Andre Zanga coming out of the Kaji Academy in Cameroon, which has produced some top-flight international talent, and the Galaxy liking both of those, signing them at the same time back in March.
And this is Chris Weehan territory right here. Enough room for him to get it up and over that wall and try to beat Lopez on that right post.
It's Weehan on the left side of the ball, Kasipli on the right. It is Weehan, right-footed strike, and it's over the top of the crossbar, but a pretty good look there.
Yeah, good look. Just not enough dip on it there, though. You see, he strikes it well and it just dips too late there. You want to get over that ball a little bit more next time.
So Reno will make their first substitution of the second half, as Brian Brown will check in for Dane Kelly. And another successful night for Dane, who is from St. Catherine Parish, Jamaica. Leaves with now 13 goals on the season, being replaced by Brown, the 24-year-old from Sandy Bay, Jamaica. Good to see him back in uniform. We got to check him out on Friday night towards the end of the game against Phoenix. He also played last weekend in Portland after missing the majority of the season with a leg injury.
Yeah, and he got a good assist against Portland on a good run and then layoff for Seth Kasipli. And I think Dane Kelly will be a little disappointed he got subbed off. I'm sure he wanted another goal, but Ian Russell knows that he's someone whose legs you need to rest. He's someone you need to give a chance to recover, and this game's already over. So,
well, and I think you want to give Brian Brown a nice look here, and I think you want to keep his legs fresh as somebody that I think as the season goes on is going to be a pretty important piece for Reno off the bench.
Oh, definitely. And Brian Brown, he's a very good striker. He holds up the ball well. He's strong. He's quick. And he's a good finisher as well. So he'll be looking forward to getting these minutes, trying to get back into the pace of the play and trying to earn a spot in that starting lineup that kind of got taken by Opano there, who used to be playing on the right side of the diamond.
Yeah, the beginning of this season, the forward spots were a little bit of a question mark. I mean, Kelly was certainly nailed in there, but that second spot was up for grabs. It started with Mac Pridham and then Brian Brown. Those two jostled over it. It was Opano who had started in the midfields at the beginning of the season, and he really wasn't making the kind of impact that he is making now since moving to striker. The move to striker, I think, really, of anything that's happened this season, Antoine Opano moving from midfield to striker may be the biggest moment for this team so far this year, because he has been that good and that dynamic.
I think it's certainly the most important so far. He has been such a revelation for this team. He defends from the front. He wins the ball back quickly. He can dribble past players. He can earn penalties, and he can score himself with 6 goals now this season. All of them coming since he did make that switch to striker.
Adonis Amaya taken down at midfield. Take another look and see what happened to him here. Looks like Jordan Morrell came up, got him from behind a little bit as he clutches the back of his thigh.
Yeah, and it looks like Zico Bailey's down here in the LA Galaxy penalty box as well, with Galaxy making both their substitutions already. Mike Munoz will want to make sure that 2 guys don't get injured, but Eric Lopez is still off-screen stretching Zico Bailey. He might have a calf strain here.
Soccer fans, Nike, an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Some stretch work there for Zico Bailey, the 16-year-old from Henderson. Look there at Reno's bench.
And Eric Lopez is making the universal signal for a substitution here off screen. I think Zico Bailey's night might be over.
Bailey on the grounds as the trainer finally arrives with Lopez looking on. And Tyler Turner providing the stretch work. Turner, one of few players on the pitch that has MLS experience, got a chance to compete with Orlando back in their inaugural MLS season back in 2015. Also some international time with the U.S. under-17 and under-18 teams. Zico Bailey certainly a guy looked at for the future for this LA Galaxy 2 club, just 16 years old, and has had a chance to play quite a bit this year at that age point, coming up from their academy circuit. Getting a rare chance to play back in his home state. Long ways away from home in Henderson, but still back in the Silver State. I'm sure that's an exciting feeling for him.
Yeah, it must be exciting. I mean, he is closer when he's in LA than when he's here, but at least he's in Nevada.
Well, looks like we're set to resume play here as we approach about halfway through the second half. Get it down the field for Zubak, and it is hit off into the seats. Here's a throw in from Covarrubias. Gets it into Zubak, being harassed by Von Niederhausen. Good win there by Reno. Felipe, quick touch up to Weehan. Send it up wide for Brent Richards.
And that's a good diagonal run from Opano there to find space in the corner.
Opano tripped up, doesn't draw a whistle. Now it does. Well, maybe not.
Well, that's a strange call there from Sean Stimson, the linesman. Instead of giving the foul, he gives the handball for Opano for when he got knocked down from the foul. I mean, at 5-0, you can't really complain much, though.
While Niederhausen trying to spring Kasipli, couldn't quite time it there. They'll say it went out of bounds before kicked, and Reno now with a quick throw-in. Now they're asking for play to hold up as another substitution looms for the LA Galaxy. Bailey will come off, and it'll be Estrada, Jonathan Estrada, a 16-year-old from Santa Ana, California, to take his place. What a moment for Jonathan Estrada, who we just saw trotting onto the fields a few weeks ago against Rio Grande Valley. This 16-year-old scored his first career goal in the United Soccer League and did it at 16 years old. And not only that, it was a game winner in a 1-0 victory over the Vipers.
Yeah, and
the Toros, excuse me.
Toros, yes. And Rio Grande Valley is a very tough place to go. They're a strong team at home. And that's an incredible achievement for the 16-year-old to score a winner against them. And one of the few wins for Los Dos this season.
Yeah, just one of 3. And their only win over their last 6 matches. We'll see what he can do here. There he is, Estrada, number 45. Chris Weehan sends it in. LaGrassa finishes with his head. Matt LaGrassa with his first goal in a Reno 1868 uniform. And where does he go? Celebrate with the Battle-Born Brigade.
And that was a great far post run there from Matt LaGrassa. Excellent ball in from Chris Weehan. And LaGrassa's there to head it into that near post past Eric Lopez. And he'll be happy with his first goal of the season. He's been such an incredible player for this team, but now he proves he can score as well.
I think he'll be happy with the goal. I'm not sure he'll be as happy with the celebration, as he wasn't able to cleanly jump on the target. You can see he's laughing it off still. Big smile on his face, and I don't think anyone deserves to find the back of the net more than Matt LaGrassa, because he does all the dirty work night in and night out, and it's great to see him get that kind of moment here against LA Galaxy.
Yeah, he's the unsung hero of this team. Like you said, he does the dirty work. He breaks up play. He initiates the counterattacks, and now he's finally got that goal that he's been waiting for. And I'm sure some of the guys will replay that celebration to him.
6-0 Reno. It matches their biggest scoring output of the season when they beat the Seattle Sounders 2 by a 6-0 final. This has just been a relentless attack tonight here at Greater Nevada Fields. Fans Coors Light reminds you every climb deserves a refreshing finish, and every night deserves a safe ending. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Greater beer, great responsibility.
And it looks like LA Galaxy are pressing higher up the field now. They decided they might as well try to get a goal if this game's going to get away from them this much.
Luis Felipe waiting for Antoine Openo. Hold up play and send it back to Brent Richards. Jimmy Ockford comes up and joins the fun, sends it back up to Felipe. Cuts through a couple defenders, but it's broken up. Felipe going back for it, shoves down Jorge Hernandez, and that will draw a whistle as the Galaxy quickly put it back into play.
Yeah, it just comes in the back of Hernandez there, rightfully a foul.
That match against the Seattle Sounders, too, that was back on May the 20th, a 6-0 win. And then 4 nights later, 4-0 victory over Tulsa. And before that, a 4-0 win over Phoenix. It was a stretch in which Reno had outscored their opponents 14-0. And that was the stretch that really put this program on the map in the USL. Up until that point, it had been a frustrating start for Reno. And ever since then, a much different exhibition season for this club.
Yeah, it's important to remember, before that Phoenix game, they hadn't had a win at all. And then all of a sudden, 3 wins in a row, outscoring opponents 14-0. It showed what this Reno team can really do, and they've been relentless ever since.
It's a team that really has the confidence and the belief at this point that they can beat anybody in this circuit.
Oh, that's an excellent flick there from Luis Felipe under pressure to find Jimmy Ockford.
Grasso will send it to Richards in the corner. Time's up to open. Oh, nice save by Lopez. What a great save.
And if that did go in, I think they might have gone back to the booth for VAR, because I thought Openo was slightly offside on that.
Well, let's take another look at it here. Hard to tell from that angle, but you might be right. It would have been very close.
Yeah, but an excellent save there from Eric Lopez to prevent a 7th.
Great reaction time from the 18-year-old, who has got to be incredibly frustrated tonight.
Yeah, it's not fun to put 6 goals past you. And you can't really blame him for a lot of them. He's had a pretty good game out here tonight.
Lagrasa trying to get it to Openo in the box. Stolen away by Angola. Amaya. Nice touch there. Bersano, smart play there to come up and grab it before Jonathan Estrada could get any kind of feeling for the ball. While Niederhauser comes up from the back. Now they'll give it all the way back to Ockford. Fans of the USL, one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. You can stay up to date with the league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com. You can also follow them on Twitter at USL. Another substitution coming up for Reno as Darwin Espinal, the youngster, the 22-year-old from Honduras, went to high school in Broward County, which is South Florida, Fort Lauderdale area. Just signed a couple weeks ago from the South Florida Surf of the PDL, where he was the league's top prospect. He'll come in and replace Matt LaGrassa here in the 72nd minute. And our substitutions presented by the Les Schwab Tire Center. And some big smiles and laughs coming from the Reno 1868 bench as Matt LaGrassa gets a chance to watch the rest of the night from the bench.
Yeah, and it looks like Luis Felipe Fernandez will slide into that number 6 holding mid-roll, and Darwin Espinal will play on the right here of the diamond.
Brian Brown trying to break through, can't do it. Now he gets his hand on the ball, and that will draw a whistle.
Well done there from Turner to relieve some of that pressure, be able to put the ball down for a set piece.
Turner trying to spring Zuback there. Nice interception by Ockford.
And that was a lovely touch there from Vera to get away from pressure and play it back to his center back.
Good win there by Espinal. Almost had a goal in that game on Friday against Phoenix. Delivered a brilliant strike from the left corner of the box, a curling strike that almost made it into the corner, but a brilliant save by Matt Cohen of Phoenix prevented what could have been the only goal of the night.
Yeah, and it was something like 35 yards out. He curled it into that upper right-hand post, but Josh Cohen was able to get just the slightest of touches to put it on to his crossbar from what would have been really an amazing debut goal.
Well, Niederhausen sends it down to Brian Brown. He's got a couple defenders to get past, though. Holds up play, sends it back to Espinal. It was kind of around that spot right there where he took a shot and was almost able to bury it. Kasipli getting Richards involved now as it's poked out of bounds by Los Dos. Here's a look at the Battle-Born Brigade. Certainly plenty to sing and shout and jump and wave here tonight with a 6-0 lead. Antoine Opino shoved down. That'll draw a whistle, and Reno will get a set-piece opportunity right in front of the Battle-Born Brigade.
And that's something that Opino does is he earns fouls in dangerous spots. He's able to get his body between the ball and the defender and force that challenge.
Here's a look at the replay as he was just shoved down by Jonathan Hernandez. Easy decision there. And once again, it'll be Chris Weehan with the opportunity.
And here's a chance for Jordan Morel to get that hat trick. He's going to be looking for that.
Weehan serves it in, deflected away. And it will remain Reno possession. Chris Weehan from just outside the box finds Opino. Bumped around, but this time the Galaxy avoid sending him down to the grass. Something a lot of other teams have not been able to do in that similar position. Darwin Espinal gets it inside. Centers it. Dangerous spot. Weehan has his first goal here at Greater Nevada Field. The second of his career, and Reno has set a new franchise record. It is now 7-0.
And Darwin Espinal makes a great run down that left-hand side after an interception from Seth Kasipli. He tries to pull it back to Weehan. It goes through a couple Galaxy defenders before finding him, and Weehan's able to poke it in front of the Battle-Born Brigade for the 7th goal of the night.
And here comes the Battle-Born Brigade. They're not done singing tonight. Chris Weehan had an assist earlier, and now a well-deserved goal. And I was going to say a couple minutes ago, if there's one guy I hope gets a goal, it's Chris Weehan, because he creates so many chances for others. He's been so good at making opportunities, but he's also a very capable goal scorer, but he doesn't get to show it very often on a team that has a lot of guys that can find the back of the net.
Yeah, when you have this many goal scorers, you sometimes have to be able to become the creator, which Chris Weehan has done, and he's been amazing in that role, really. And Now he gets his chance to score in front of the Battleborn Brigade. Really put a great end to this night, and we're really not done. There's could be 15 minutes left here to maybe grab an 8th or a 9th.
Chris Wehan, 2 assists and a goal tonight. Seth Kasipli's got 2 assists. Some big, gaudy numbers here this evening at Greater Nevada Fields, as a yellow card is pulled on Brian Brown, who I believe did get a yellow card as well in the previous match against Phoenix during that short period of time that he was in.
That's what he does. He fights for everything, and sometimes that means having to get a yellow card.
Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85. Also, don't forget Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Matt Persano trying to get it out of trouble. Can't quite do it, though. Chance here for the Galaxy to get on the scoreboard. Can they convert? Left-footed strike, and it almost makes it just wide. Adrian Vera almost gets Los Dos on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and that's a poor mistake from Matt Persano. He tries to pull a little trickery there, split the 2 attackers pressing, and then gives it away to Jorge Hernandez, and then eventually that shot just goes just wide. Persano will be thanking his lucky stars that it did. He wants to keep this clean sheet here tonight.
Well, that would get him 6 now in the season, and certainly would be another feather in his cap this year. Reno, a team that looked fairly porous at times defensively in the beginning of this season, but as of late they have been much, much better. If Persano can earn another clean sheet, that would move him into 2nd place in the circuit all by himself, behind only San Antonio's goalkeeper.
Which really is amazing. One being how attacking Reno 1868 are, and I think that also is a testament to guys like Jimmy Ockford, but Matt Persano as well. And 2, Andrew Tarbell's had a fair few amount of games here as well, so it's not like Persano has played every single game.
That's exactly
Reno 1868.
Now, it certainly has been a team effort. I mean, the defensive performances by the likes of Ockford, you mentioned, Morel, Richards, LaGrassa comes to mind when you start thinking about Reno's defense.
And not just the back 4. Look at how they defend from the front. Guys like Opano.
Even Dane Kelly comes in and gets his nose in there.
They're the first line of defense.
Kasipli from the corner, headed, deflected. And I don't know how that didn't find the back of the net. Unbelievable. 2 shots that missed by mere inches.
Oh, and Brian Brown will be kicking himself because that was his chance to get his goal. And right in front of the goal, he just puts it off the post.
We're going to have to see that again in a second as soon as the ball goes out of play, because that was a wild series of events and somehow did not result in goal number 8.
And look at that run up from Jimmy Ockford when we do see the replay. He gets such good contact on it.
Here's the corner from Kasipli.
Oh, Brent Richards, excuse me. And it just bounces at the wrong moment for Brian Brown there. And Jordan Morel, who is right behind him and who wants that hat trick. He might be hearing a few words from Jordan Morel there.
Jorge Hernandez, the corner kick. Not going anywhere. Here's Chris Wehan. Sends it up to Brown. Almost had the hurdle. Can't keep his footing, though, as a whistle is blown near the sideline. Now the referee's going to come up again. Has a yellow card in his hands. And there's a yellow card for Los Dos.
And that's a great little flick to get past the LA Galaxy man there, and they just take him out. I believe it was Kovarabias, who gets that touch on him as he's breaking past him.
So let Richards send it back in play as Luis Felipe battles with Kovarabias. Back to Richards, nice move there, sends it forward to Kasipli. Antoine Openo gets inside the box. Good defense that time by Angola. But he will not be able to keep it from going out of play. And with that, another corner kick coming up for 1868. Kasipli with 2 assists in this contest tonight. Perhaps a chance at a third. Here it comes. He goes long. Jimmy Ockford trying to get up on it, but a whistle blown, and it'll be Los Dos taking over.
Yeah, it looks like that corner kick just bends out of play before coming back in. It'll be a goal kick for Eric Lopez.
Tyler Turner back to Arteaga, and then Lopez boots it down the field. Reno again keeping the pressure on, even with a 7-0 lead. They have not slowed up here in this one tonight. Espinal times it. Openo, Weehan, 8-0 Reno. Are you kidding me?
And that was such a good ball to find Openo all alone on the far side. And Openo does the selfless thing there and just squares it to Chris Weehan for his second of the night to make it 8-0 for Reno 1868. Wow.
What a night here this evening. It all started in the 3rd minute with an own goal, and the avalanche has been on ever since. And everybody's getting involved. 2 from Chris Weehan, a goal from Matt LaGrassa, a goal from Antoine Openo, a goal from Dane Kelly. The backfield, Jordan Morrell from his fullback spot with 2 goals. All over the fields. Just an incredible performance by the entire starting 11 and even deeper into the bench by this Reno 1868 team.
Yeah, they've been relentless tonight. They just want to keep on scoring. I wouldn't be surprised if they really push for a 9th.
Darwin Espinal puts on the Jets. Trying to center it up for Brian Brown, but too much as he trying to avoid getting offsides. The assist on that last one went to Antoine Openo, which is his 4th of the season.
If they count in penalties one as assists, he'd be running away at the top of the league right now. He's been so dangerous since he's made that switch to striker. Antoine Openo makes run after run, is relentless on the press, and makes good decisions too.
Well, this total is going to vault Reno from 3rd in the league to the league's highest scoring team. They have now scored 39 goals this year, and that's 3 more than Charleston, 6 more than Salt Lake.
And it's not just Dane Kelly doing the goal scoring. It's all across the board. Everyone is scoring goals. Everyone is making assists. Everyone is working together as a team to put the ball in the back of the net.
Soccer fans, Nike, an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Brian Brown, can he get his goal? Brown, no, Espinal, yes!
Are you kidding me with this move from Brian Brown here? He does so well to split the two LA Galaxy defenders. Unfortunately that Eric Lopez makes the save. But then Darwin Espinal is there to grab his first goal in a Reno 1868 jersey.
Welcome to Northern Nevada, Darwin Espinal. Make it 40 goals on the season for this club. 9. That is not a mistake on the graphic. My goodness.
LA Galaxy will want to forget this game ever happened. They'll want to put it in the back of their minds and next week just try to respond positively to it, because if they dwell on this, it will do no good for them. Like we said, this is a really inexperienced team. A lot of teenagers, a few 16-year-olds out here tonight. And they're going to want to respond well to this for their next upcoming game.
9 goals here tonight. A new United Soccer League record set by this exhibition franchise. How about that?
Wow, it's really brilliant for an expansion team to come out here and be setting records left and right. 9 goals.
A night fans will never forget. In the first year of existence, I don't care who you're playing, how young they are, how old you are, 9 goals, you may never see that again.
No, you may not. You really may not. This will be a night to remember for Ian Russell and this Reno 1868 team. Really just a whole all-round brilliant team performance from everybody. You can't look at one spot out there and say that they didn't have anything but a stellar game. And the ref could add a lot of stoppage time because there has been stoppages between injuries and all the goal celebrations. But I think he's going to end it right on the 90th minute mark.
Perhaps the final takes here tonight in downtown Reno. And you're absolutely right, they will not add stoppage time. A record-breaking night for the Reno 1868 Football Club. 9-0. Nobody, no team in the United Soccer League's history has ever had a performance like that. And you just witnessed it right here as Reno has a July 3rd to remember.
And now some fireworks after the game to cap off fireworks that were on the field out here tonight for Reno. They were sensational.
Well, they will be celebrating late into the night here in downtown Reno. And there you see him now with the carts coming over. The grounds crew is ready to rip this field up and get it ready for baseball tomorrow. The Aces, that is a team with some offensive firepower. We've seen a lot of Aces games with 9 runs. They've got a lot to top when they come out here tomorrow night. We'll take a quick break, come back, and show you the highlights from this one. Reno, an unbelievable performance. 9-0 over Los Dos. We'll be right back.
Fans, please direct your attention to the video
Well, the United Soccer League was founded back in 2010, and never has the league seen a performance like we saw here tonight at Greater Nevada Fields as Reno 1868 demolishes Los Dos 9-0, and the celebration is on here tonight. Post-game fireworks are moments away as the players and the fans relish in this one. You can see them coming off the field. The flags are still flying behind Reno's goal. The Battleborn Brigade is fired up. There they are. I have a feeling the party is going into the very, very wee hours of the night here in downtown Reno. This is a 24-hour town, and a 9-0 win may give people a little extra motivation here this evening. Let's go back and take a look at the highlights of this one, and boy, were there some serious highlights to show. Seth Kasipli finding Jordan Morrell in the second half in the 49th minute, and that made it 5-0 after Reno had the 4 goals in the first half. Morrell wouldn't get the hat trick, but 2 goals here and now leads Reno's back 4.
Yeah, and Jordan Morrell does so well to get himself side onto that ball and run through and put it away.
Then it was Chris Wehan, a perfect curl. Matt LaGrassa delivers it into the back of the net. This celebration maybe wanted a second chance at, but you can't fault anything about that header.
No, and he doesn't have a lot of practice this season with goal celebrations, seeing it as it is his first goal this season, but great header there from Matt LaGrassa.
And then there, Chris Wehan, his first goal at home, his second of the year, assisted there by Antoine Opino. Beautiful finish into the right corner. Chris Wehan, I had mentioned, a guy that creates so many chances for others. He would get 2 in this one in the 76th and the 84th. And then Brian Brown looking for his first goal. Unlucky that Eric Lopez came up with a great save. But Darwin Espinal, the newest member of Reno 1868, the youngster, the 22-year-old from Honduras, able to get his first goal and cap off the night with 9 goals. Fireworks countdown is on. You can see the fans, and lights go off, and here we go. Let's check it out. What a great way to kick off this 4th of July holiday. And here at Greater Nevada Fields. Colin, what can a performance like this do for a team's momentum? I know when they go to suit up again on Saturday, it's going to be an exhibition. It's not going to count for their USL standings. And maybe even after that, when you go out there, what you did the night before doesn't matter. But this win and the amount of guys that got involved, between the assists, the goals, the clean sheet, it has to give a lot of confidence to that clubhouse.
Yeah, this team will be riding high after a performance like this. 9 goals against an LA Galaxy 2 team that really isn't a bad team at all. The scoreline might not show that, but as you said earlier, their past games have all been by a 1-goal difference. So this shows that this Reno team, they really mean business out here in the USL.
Reno gets to 7 wins on the year. Now 7 wins, 4 losses, and 4 draws. They now have 25 points, and that will vault them into tied for 4th in the Western Conference standings as they pull into an even tie with the Sacramento Republic, a team they beat a few weeks ago here at Greater Nevada Field by a 2-0 final. Well, actually, they're going to put Reno ahead of Sacramento. Reno now has the largest goal differential in the entire circuit at 19, 25 points. That puts them 1 behind Swope Park. Still a long ways to go. San Antonio, 35 points, 10 more, and then Real Monarchs with 37. Reno's going to have a hard time catching those top 2, but they keep playing like this, and they're going to be a very dangerous team come playoff time if they can get in. And the way they're playing, I see no reason why this team does not make the playoffs.
Yeah, and they're going to push for those top 4 spots because that means that their first playoff game is at home as one of the top seeds in the Western Conference. So they're going to try to keep themselves in that 4. They're going to be pushing for 3rd or 4th. I do think Real Monarchs and San Antonio are running away with it a little bit. It'd be hard to catch up with them, but 3rd place in an expansion season would be an incredible, incredible achievement for Reno 1868.
An unforgettable night here in downtown Reno at Greater Nevada Field. Glad you could be a part of it. We have to thank a lot of people help getting this broadcast on the air. Our entire production crew puts so much time and effort to put together this broadcast. I want to thank them. For Colin Tabor, I'm Alex Margulies saying so long here tonight. Have a great 4th of July. Stay safe. Enjoy the fireworks. And we'll hear you next time here on United Soccer League. Once again, our final score tonight, Reno 9, LA Galaxy nothing. We'll see you next time. Have a great night, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.